I have my new Gucci belt. They're nipples. Hi honeys, it's me Megan and welcome back to my spooky channel where I'm here to satisfy all of your spooky needs. I know I've been posting at very weird times and it has not been consistent, but it's the end of the semester, finals is a mess, my life's a mess. That's pretty much it, so just stay with me. They will all be coming out soon. A lot of spooky things are coming your way. I'm super excited for today's video because we are going to talk about someone who has inspired 3 very classic horror movies. He was the inspiration for Norman Bates in Psycho, for some parts of Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs, and even for some parts of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you have not seen or heard of any of these movies, then just stop watching because you're not a true spooky fan. And I'm disappointed. I don't want to keep you guys waiting any longer, so let's get spooky. So today we will be talking about Ed Gein, also known as the Butcher of Plainfield. He is known as one of the most gruesome serial killers of all times. Just warning you now, this is very gross and it's going to be very disturbing because he is a very strange and very horrible man that did a lot of awful things that we will be talking about later. He was born on August 27, 1906 in La Crosse, Wisconsin. In 1915, him and his family moved to Plainfield, Wisconsin. Ed's childhood was not very good. His father was an alcoholic and his mother was verbally abusive and extremely religious. She would always preach to Ed and his older brother Henry and basically said that every other woman except for herself was a prostitute. She would keep them secluded in their little farmhouse and they were only allowed to go to school and come straight home. They weren't allowed to make any friends. If they ever tried to make any friends, she would scold them and tell them that that was a sin. Ed became extremely fascinated and devoted to his mother, and his older brother Henry thought that this was very concerning and that this was a problem, so he would often confront their mother in front of Ed. Of course, Ed was shocked because he thought his mom was just this perfect, pure being, and he was so confused why Henry didn't agree with him. In 1940, their father died, and in 1944, Henry also died. He died in a brush fire that happened near the farmhouse. When they found Henry's body, the police said it was an accident, but there were a few strange things about his death. The first was that Ed was the one that reported his brother Henry missing, but when the police came to the house, he led them directly to the body. Another strange thing is that Ed had no fire burns, basically any sign that he was also part of the fire, even though he was out there with Henry when this happened, but he had bruises on his hands. Of course, there's no evidence that Ed ever killed Henry, and this was an accident, but it was a little strange. After this, it was just Ed and his mother. Ed never left the home and he never dated any woman. He was completely devoted to his mother. And then December 29th, 1945, his mother died. Ed, of course, was heartbroken, and this totally changed his world. So he shut and boarded all of the rooms that she had and that she interacted with, didn't touch them, and basically moved all of his own belongings into a single bedroom in the kitchen. He left those rooms untouched as if they were some sort of shrine for his mother. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Ed became extremely lonely and picked up an interest in reading anatomy books. In November of 1957, a local hardware store owner, Bernice Warden, went missing. Her son was the deputy and he went into the store the next morning and saw the cash drawer wide open and a trail of blood on the floor. Investigators discovered that Ed was the last person to see her alive in the store, so of course he was their first prime suspect. The police went to the farm expecting to find her body, which they did, but little did they know they would be finding a lot more. His farm was full of human body parts. It was discovered that Ed would dig up graves and take body parts from deceased middle-aged women. There were countless bones. He had skulls impaled on his bedposts. He also made bowls and kitchen utensils out of different skulls. Police also found the head of Mary Hogan, who went missing 3 years earlier. Many more household items were made out of human skin. There is a long list of the awful things that were found in his house, so I'm just going to read you a few of them. They found noses, a lot of masks made out of human skin. Human skin was found covering multiple chairs. There were organs in the refrigerator. There was a pair of lips on a drawstring for a window shade. Ugh. There was a lampshade made from the skin of human faces. There was also a belt made from human nipples. Who even comes up with that? Ugh. There are many more gross and disturbing things that were found in his house, but these are just a few of them. Ed confessed to visiting the graveyard over 40 times, and he also confessed to murdering the 2 women. He pled not guilty for reason of insanity, and in 1957 they found him unfit to stand trial, so they put him in a mental institution. However, in 1968 they thought that he was fit to stand trial. He was found guilty for the murder of Bernice Worden, but because he was deemed unfit and insane at the time he committed the crime, he was just put back into the mental institution. And he remained there until his death in 1984 when he was 77 years old. So that is the story of Ed Gein. I just want to say real quick, I'm sorry for the lack of pictures for this one. There is a purpose for that. It's not because I'm boring. It's just because there are actual pictures of all these chairs, of all these tools, of all these gross things that Ed Gein made, but to respect the victim, the victim's family, and just because it's really disturbing to see. I mean, I saw it once, it just came up when I was researching this, and once was more than enough for me. But if you want to go see those pictures, go ahead, Google at your own risk, just letting you know, it is very hard to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had a spooky time with this one. I will be seeing you all soon. Bye, honeys! Okay, I'm so sorry, but I did an awful spooky thing. Oh no, one of them fell off! Hold on. Ta-da!